The 16 days of activism against gender based violence took place today at Mopan Technical High School, highlighting this year's theme Prevent to Protect, Ending Gender Based Violence Begins with Us. Principal Kathy Jones highlighted the importance of awareness and community in creating safer spaces for all.
Today is the beginning of the 16 days of activism that is celebrated not only here in Belize but also internationally. Is to create awareness about gender-based violence, not only towards women but also towards men, because we do know that that does happen, although it is not as reported as much, but it is also, a part of what goes on in terms of the gender-based violence issue.
What do you expect that these kids are going to learn or from this activity today?
That it begins with them, that it begins with them creating awareness with their friends, with those who are not here in school as well, with other friends they have in other high schools, that they have a voice, that as young people, they can stand and they can say, this is happening to me, or this is happening to someone I know, or it's happening in my family. What can I do? What role do I play in all of this? And so it's the creating the awareness that we are not alone.
School leaders shared their perspectives on why preventing gender based violence starts with awareness, action, and community.
We're starting the act of gender-based violence to prevent and protect.
What does this mean to you?
To me, it means that us girls, not also girls, are in this situation, but they're also males. But to me, it means that we girls have a time to be honored, and for the ones that are already in the situation, that they have a time to be recognized, not just by their, you know, well, that's what it means to me. To me, it means that we should protect our girls and care for each other. And
we see that around our precious Belize, a lot of crimes, a lot of victims are they're they're just going through a lot of violence in these days, and it's good to start in schools to educate them that they value, that they shouldn't expect least for themselves, but to be respected, to be loved, to be protected, and to provide for them, right? I believe that our justice system is not really focusing mainly on the victims, on the females. We always see that they don't get the full justice that we need. But we pray that, God can switch this system and make, justice come to those that really need justice.
Well, I want to inspire others for them to feel confident in themselves, for them to be ambitious, resilient, for them to not be afraid.
What would you tell the women that have kids and are in an abusive relationship?
Well, I will tell them to stand up, to be the example for other women that are still growing up, to show leadership.
I've seen both cases where women tend to treat bad their husband, even by taking them their payment that they take on that they have on their monthly, and also women being treated bad by men. I've heard many cases like that where
many a times they face a lot of challenges at home. They don't bring that up because that is what is happening in their home. But at least this brings some awareness of them not to be so quiet all the time and to maybe speak out, and then they can get help as needed.
As a guest speaker today for the male set, what was your advice to them?
Well, I believe that if we are going to counterattack something, you got to deal with the mindset. And oftentimes it's easy for us to give up an information, but not really bring the persons into the full picture of what you are speaking. So when you begin to make it relatable to them, making them connect with that very thing, it makes it easier for them to identify the areas that they need to be able to fix. And so the talk today was just about 15 minutes. I really spoke that violence isn't or does not start with action. It starts with mindset. If your mindset does not change, then everything else won't be able to change. So I began to challenge that mindset that men aren't really they're the control, that men are really called to be protectors. And if we're able to protect, then that means that we're able to better the things that we're called to do. And if you understand that you're there to treat women better, and it starts with what response are you given? What words are you using? What jokes are you saying? A simple example that I mentioned is I told him, how many of you have ever whistled at a girl when you see them pass by? It's like, okay, like all of a sudden it's like that conviction began to come in because at some point they've either done it or said something. I told them also, how many of you have ever said, like, boy, look at that thing, and referred to a female as a thing?
The violence does not only, it doesn't have to be physical. It can be verbal. It can be psychological.
Yes. So I really began to bring that up. I told them that you get to choose your response. And oftentimes, being able to see what I thought was okay was actually the foundation that built a society where gender violence is so predominant.
Gender-based violence should be treated the same way, no matter the gender. If the female is doing the abuse and you don't penalize her, then that could affect the male, and then that could lead to most cases when the male countered a female because they had disputes among themselves, but they won't say like the female did this to the man and that caused for him to act the same way. So, and also it's not okay for a male to abuse a female. So I think that when it comes to that, they should be the situation should be brought up fairly.